What's up, my boy?
What he do?
Another day, another opportunity, another episode, bro.
Welcome to our safe space.
Man, what's good, man? I'm hoping everybody is excited. Last week we had our very first episode of the season, man.
Season 2 at that.
Not one, but two. You feel me?
Let's
Man, from last season, bro, we chopped it up with so many people, man. We had Kennard, we had Shamarco, we had Brother Yusuf, we had G-Mon come on here, man.
Yeah, man, we had Kia, we had a bunch of different people just come on and give us the truth about, how they feeling mentally and all of that. So this season 2, we promise to give you the same. We promise to give you even better. This season's going to be lit just like it was last season and even better. And this week, we got our girl Mimi.
Hey! What it do, man? What it do?
Hello there.
What's good?
Going?
Hi. Nothing much. What's going on with you guys?
Listen, we here to doggone this talk, man. We here to doggone enjoy ourselves. We here to doggone let your hair down and doggone.
My hair already down.
Let's do it.
You're gonna pick my brain.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got to definitely do that.
Okay.
Dive in. I know you heard the song Trey Songz "Dive In," but we diving into that mental.
Who is Mimi? Tell us who you are.
Yeah,
what you do.
So I create content.
One thing about me, I'm not gonna starve. I don't play about my food or my man. I mean, her man, somebody's man. Boom.
Funny as hell, and you can cook your ass off. Let's just say that. I've been looking. I do my research now.
Okay. So I genuinely enjoy creating content. However, the content that I create obviously comes from a very painful place.
Okay.
A lot of people don't read between the lines, so they think I'm this stank personality, which I'm not. But right. I'm a content creator who also loves to cook. Other things, I like singing, I like music, but I really enjoy creating the content because it comes from a very passionate place.
Oh my goodness. When I tell you somebody that's dope, bro, somebody that's creative, bro, somebody that brain is out of this world, man, like this girl here is dope, man. Like literally.
For sure.
Like she's all around like fucking genius. Like
Right.
I'm gonna be honest though.
Yeah.
Since you talking about cooking and all this stuff, I'm just trying to see when we gonna get a sample or something.
I be in the kitchen like Migos.
Okay.
Literally be ripping up everything you can imagine.
For sure.
Yeah, I really love cooking. Everybody wants me to do like a restaurant. Like so many people have tried to collab with me on that. It's just a lot of people are not business minded. And it makes it really hard for you to know whether people really want to work with you as far as business. I was talking to Hub the other day. It might be last week, and I was saying that everybody doesn't have pure intentions. So it's just kind of like people wanting to collab and wanting to work with me, and then when it comes down to it, they really want other things. And that's nice because it's only normal. But if you want to do business, let's do business. Right. It makes it really hard. And I'm not naive. A lot of people might take me as being young, but I'm 34 years old. So I see through that. So it's like, no, we're not gonna do this because I know where you're going with this. Everybody just doesn't have the business mindset. So it just makes it really hard for me. Like I have this vision, but it's better to work with a team than to work on your own. You can accomplish a lot more. Sometimes when you try to do everything on your own, it's not as easy. So yeah. But
okay,
I'll get there.
You started something really innovative. So instead of like a recipe book or cookbook, you do recipe cards.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that. Like, what made you come up with the idea, and how does that differ from like a traditional cookbook?
There was pressure for me to create a cookbook because a lot of people are asking for my recipes. And it was just time consuming. I know when you're with social media, everything is on a time constraint. Like when you're popping, you gotta stay popping. So you gotta, keep doing stuff. And I was just like, I'm not gonna finish a cookbook in time. I know this for a fact because outside of being a content creator, I do other things. So I'm just like, okay. So I started saying, okay, people collect basketball cards, baseball cards. They did back in the day. I don't know what they do now, but that's what they did.
For
so
sure.
I'm like, it's no secret, obviously that a lot of people are attracted to my physique. I get that, the face, whatever. So I decided, let me make a baseball card. Like, they can collect these baseball, basketball cards, but it's not really that. It's really Mimi's card.
Okay, Mimi.
So you can go collect these recipes like you collect, like you collect baseball, basketball cards, and then the recipe will be on the back. And I use the theme from Our Man, and I use that to have certain recipes, like Little Stevie's favorite potatoes or Our Man's favorite side piece salmon. Like I use a lot of terms.
Side piece salmon, goddamn. Okay.
But I started creating it like that, and I felt like it would be. The thing is, I was just, in my mind, I'm wondering how many men are actually going to be cooking these recipes. Because if they buy them and they hand them to their woman and they woman see me, my face and my body on there, she gonna be like, I know you didn't just hand me this. So it's been something that I had been thinking about, even though I continued and I pursued that and I decided to do it that way. It has been, it's a constant change. Like, you're constantly working. And so in my mind, I'm like, although everybody wants these recipes and stuff like that, I have to think about the female audience as well. It makes it a little difficult when I'm catering to men all the time. 99% of these men are either married or have a girlfriend or whatever. Their woman is not going to tolerate seeing no picture of me in their house with a damn recipe on the back. I had to think about that. Even though I pursued it and people still bought them, but it's just something to think about. But it is very innovative. I feel like it's a great idea. I still want to roll with it, but I probably might change some of the card pictures up a little bit just to be a little more respectful. Respectful, because there's a lot of women, there's a lot of women who can't cook. Let's keep it all the way 100.
True. That's real.
And you could give somebody the recipe and they still gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
Right.
But just so, because I did have some women buy it, which was surprising, because who wants to see some side piece salmon? they man just cheated on them last month. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's a great idea. It's a great way to collect recipes. Eventually I do want to create a cookbook, but the theme might be a little bit different. But I'm just working on so many different things right now, and it's really hard to stay focused when you have so much to work on. And there's people pulling you in several different directions, and I have this habit of like pulling back because I'm like, it doesn't feel right. If it doesn't feel organic, or if it doesn't feel right, I don't want to work with you. So it's hard though, because my brain, I feel like Albert Einstein. I'm super creative, and it drives me crazy.
Right.
So,
but
that was I feel like it was a great idea. So yeah.
Man, you know what? You come up with so much stuff, and you take the time out to like put it into categories and everything that you do. Like, I wanted to ask you though, like, what does your like mental space look like when you're winding down, when you're away from social media, when you're away from doing what you do, doing what it is that you love to do? What is your safe space, and what does that feel like, and what does it look like to you?
I'm a firm believer that there is nothing wrong with having depressing moments. So there are those times. I'm a firm believer. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody experiences depression. They just deal with it differently. I do like reflect on my life the last 12, 13, 14 years.
Right.
It puts me in sometimes it can be in a depressive state, but I have to keep moving. Like, even if I'm not on social media, I have to find something to do. So whether it's going to be me going outside to go exercise and take a walk, or going to go hang out with friends, or something to keep my mind off of that, because you do go back and think about how you just, I'm not going to say wasted, but you just spent all these years with somebody, and now it's like you're trying to build your life back up, or
for sure,
get your life back on track. And so you feel, sometimes you can feel drained. And I cry a lot. I'm a crybaby.
Yeah.
So
it's okay to cry.
Right. I'm not saying ain't nothing wrong with a good cry.
Yeah, like, I'm sensitive, you know what I'm saying? And I find a lot of the feelings that I have for my mental I didn't actually feel any of my feelings till I got out of that relationship, because the person I was with didn't allow me to be sensitive. And they, what are you crying for? You know, like, let's say you better man up, like say stuff like that, you know, very insensitive to me being a woman and being in touch with my emotions. So I didn't realize until I got older and saying, wow, I'm really sensitive. Like, I didn't realize how my mental was affected by being in a relationship with somebody who had that much control. So I cry. I'll sit in my space sometimes and cry a lot. It could be a good cry. It could be a cry of relief. Like, girl, you did that. You know, like it could be like, but sometimes it's good though to stay away from social media. When I first came out with the content, I was very consistent, like all the time. But now I'm not as consistent with it because I do need those breaks. Especially with the type of messages and stuff that you receive. I had to stop, you know, paying attention to so much. When I started going on Google, I remember telling Hub like maybe a month or two ago, like when I told you, I was like, I Googled, when I found out I could like Google myself and the type of stuff I was reading, you don't realize how much that affects your mental either.
For sure.
So I had to back up and not invest so much energy and time into something like that, because it wouldn't be good for me, especially from that. So take a break from social media, take a break from online, and don't worry about it, and just take that time for myself. But yeah, I do a whole lot of crying, a whole lot of, you know, being in touch with my emotions. There's nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong.
Ain't nothing at all. Like literally, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Look, I cried the other day.
I know that.
I cried on Sunday, man. It was Sunday. I'll never forget it, man. I turned on this song, man. And it just regulated. It just like boom. I felt chills. I felt like, man, I've been through so much, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Through the past year, injury, divorce, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, hey, look, I'm a firm believer, man. You can make a way out of no way. And during that course of the time, you're working on yourself, bro. And I feel like that's what you're doing, baby. You're constantly working on yourself. You're constantly finding new ways and new ideas to make things better. And I feel like we all need that outlet, man. We all need we all need a relief of cry, no matter what it is. I don't care how strong you are. You're gonna have those moments, man. And it's important. It's important, man. It's really important.
I hate to say this, there's a lot of men who have been taught to not show emotion and have been taught to not cry. And it's so unhealthy because a lot of men, you know, will die sooner than women because they hold in a lot of stress. They hold in a lot of emotion. It's been proven. So if you're able to express your emotions, if you're able to be in touch with that as a man, you're actually strong if you can let that go. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a fact.
When I see a man cry, it makes me extra sensitive. I'll be like, oh, come here. I feel so bad for you because men don't cry. You know, that's been in our heads. Like, men don't cry. Like, no, it is okay to cry.
It's always talking about, man, get up. You're right. Wipe it off. Dust it off, bro. Like, come on, fam. Like, nah, we have those moments too. We have those moments too. You know what I'm saying? And it's and you had them same moments while you telling me the doggone dust it up, pick it up. You done had no moments too. So, bro, check yourself before you wreck yourself, bro. That's all.
That's it. That's the quote of the day.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
With your quotes of the day.
That's it. That's it. Right there.
Yeah, man. So I wanted to ask you something.
Okay.
Like, what did romantic relationships look like growing up to you?
Dysfunctional. I never saw a good example of a healthy relationship. I was abused for a very long time by somebody that my mom was married to, and she didn't see it at the time because she was young and she was with somebody who was almost 10 years older than her. You know, so it was a cycle repeated, but I was like, you know, very abused. I didn't see a good romantic situation. My mom's married. I love my mom dearly, but she's been married 5 times.
Yeah.
That's a lot, you know, and so it just it made me feel like even though I stayed in that relationship for 12, 13 years, I stayed because I refused to be somebody who bounces around from relationship to relationship because I didn't want that for myself. So I wanted to be the complete opposite of what my mom did, but not even really realizing that although I didn't bounce around, I was in a dysfunctional relationship. So I never saw a healthy relationship growing up. That's crazy. I was just talking to my sister about that. We've never seen it. So it made us so scared. But then when we found somebody who we felt like we could build with, we stayed with that person. So, you know, because we didn't want that. Because we, you know, that's just, we don't have, a lot of us don't have those good examples growing up. You know what I'm saying?
True.
If you don't come from a family with good core morals and values, you don't really know what you're looking for. So and my father, I didn't have my father in my life. I had somebody who was supposed to be a father, but was like abusive. So I never seen, and then I even noticed that the person that I chose had a lot of attributes that my abuser had. So it was still like it was very mental. And I didn't start realizing that until I removed myself. So
wow,
that's real. So let me ask you, because obviously experience is kind of what leads you to, you know, what you think and what you believe now. What does a healthy relationship look like? Because even though we didn't see it, we know now from going through terrible relationships.
Yeah. I think that a healthy relationship, there should be trust, love, but not just love, unconditional love, loyalty, respect for one another, understanding, effective communication, because a lot of people don't know how to communicate, and that can really drain your relationship.
That's a fact.
True.
Being open, keeping it spicy in your relationship. Don't let it die out, because a lot of people, they get comfortable. When they get comfortable, sometimes one of them is unhappy. I don't know which one is going to be, but they're unhappy, and that's when that, you know, sometimes that's when that cheating happens. Be accommodating, you know, acts of love. Make sure you feed them, because you know
got to feed.
They gotta eat.
That's one thing right there. That's one thing right there, literally.
Got to eat.
But not being selfish, because there's too many selfish people in relationships these days. It's really all about self and what they can do for their self, or how, you know, and not looking. And this is like something big for me, because it's been advertised so much in the media, and it's really ridiculous, but not looking at your relationship as a come up.
Okay, for sure.
Because it's majority of women. You know, I love my women, but it is a lot of women. They listen to these songs. You know, if you adore her, Dior her, or Birkin bag me, and all this crap that's really, really artificial.
For sure.
And so they go into these relationships looking for somebody to wine and dine them, but what do you bring to the table? Because you want somebody to bring the whole table.
Preach.
So
preach. Shout out to the sugar babies.
No, but it's real, because these expectations are unrealistic. You know, you want somebody to do all these things for you, but what are you doing? What makes you feel like you deserve all of that? Like, you know what I'm saying? It needs to be a even playing ground. Am I saying that right? Yeah. So, but just having those qualities, not, like I said, don't look at it as a come up. I don't care what position you have in life. If you're making more money than me, or if I'm making more money than you, it is not about that. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to go look down the street where it's a whole bunch of homeless people and say, look here, come on, Joe, I want to be with you. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But you don't go into it like, ooh, what can he do for me? Because you know, like, that's stupid. You know, it's immature, it's not realistic, and if you base your love and your relationship on that, then that's not really a good base for a relationship. So
I never understood it.
Ain't no love there.
I never understood it. It's like, oh yeah, he gonna buy me a Birkin bag, and then I give her the Soldier Boy face, like, Birkin? Yeah, like, you ain't even working. Like, you ain't even working. $40. Right. $40. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't about to have, what are we talking about? And then it's like, that expectation is so unrealistic, because you couldn't afford that before you met me.
Facts. But you all of a sudden, I want that. You know
because
what I'm saying?
Don't work like that, sugar babies.
No, man. We gonna have
and just to say this, and these BBLs really done jacked them up, because I'm gonna tell you why.
Lord.
Because now they done got the body, and they feel like you gonna have to pay for this.
Flued out.
No, sis, it don't work like that.
So since we on because BBL is definitely a current topic.
Oh
but
my God.
We're gonna go to another current topic. And I think it's important for us to have this conversation in a safe space.
Okay.
Shit. All right. Speaking on toxic, what are your thoughts on the baby's comments about HIV/AIDS in the LGBTQ community?
What did he say about the LGBT community? Like, I don't get it.
I don't think I when I heard the comments, I didn't feel that he necessarily. I think he was very uneducated about HIV and AIDS because people don't die in fucking 2 weeks. Dumb.
So wait, so was he making reference to the people who get AIDS the most or HIV is the LGBT community?
I think that's where, in a sense, I think in a sense it was going in that direction, but it was random at a concert. So it's kind of like, what made you? Why in the middle of a concert
rolling loud, bro?
Yeah, like this the first thing on your mind to say. It was, you know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like, bro, what's wrong with you, bro? Like,
it's weird, man.
Yeah, it was very weird.
It's weird. I ain't gonna say what I want to say though, but
that sounds very
I'm with
toxic.
you. It does.
It sounds very toxic. It sounds very stereotypical. It's very judgmental. And people are very opinionated, but a lot of the times they say sometimes you should keep certain opinions to yourself.
Facts.
So maybe that's what he should have done. LGBTQ community is big. You know what I'm saying? In the industry, period. You know what I'm saying?
In the world, they're the number one spending group in the world.
So, saying stupid, uneducated, dysfunctional comments, which I've never even heard it, but whatever he said, he should just kept his comments to himself. You sound toxic, bro.
I agree.
Do you think he should have been canceled? And I'll go first and I'll ask the question. I'm gonna let y'all think for a second. I think that unfortunately we do live in a society where people kind of normalize disrespecting people, and that shit not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you gotta pay. I don't give a damn where you are. You have to pay for what you do. Everybody else in the world got to. The other part I will say is I think there is a miseducated side of this that is not getting enough attention, because there is the homophobic side, which is problematic. Mm-hmm. But I think some comments may come more from being uneducated than being 100% homophobic. You feel what I'm saying? And I think there is an education piece that needs to be said. As far as the canceling, bro, nobody's gonna take their chance on you. You're disrespecting a large group of people, especially people who support each other. Like, that's a supportive group of people. So if you say some shit about them, they coming and they not gonna stop. And so the canceling just comes with it. If we gotta live with our decisions daily, celebrities have to too. And it's just like, we don't get a pass in the world. So how y'all feel?
You know what? Sometimes you gotta be made an example out of. When you're given a big platform like the baby, you have this big platform and you choose to get on a stage in front of thousands of people and say something so disrespectful. Probably a lot of the LGBT community was in the audience.
Absolutely.
Say something that was so disrespectful. Sometimes they got to make an example out of you. Unfortunately, you should watch your mouth.
Yeah.
You should watch your mouth, because, why do that? You have this big platform. You're going places in life and you decide to stoop that low. Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, don't you got better things to do with your time, bro? I'm confused.
Facts.
Make music. You know what I'm saying? Just keep the music going, bro. Like, we ain't gotta do all that unnecessary, talk. And I'm gonna just say this, man. Like, I know I can't say too much out there in the public world, but when I do, it makes sense. Make it make sense. Like, you got a team behind you that can help you out. Don't let that man go out there and say that stuff, man. You supposed to cut the mic off, everything. Like, at that moment, bro, like, it's time to cut the mic, all that stuff going on. Because you gotta, if you really want your people to succeed and keep going, that's one of the things. I understand, like, you have this big platform. You want to say what you want to say, but it don't work like that, bro. You gotta educate yourself, bro. You gotta educate.
Not to place judgment, but it really makes you wonder what triggered him to say something like that.
Right. That's
You
what I
know
was
what I'm
gonna get
saying?
into.
Right.
What got you to that point where you felt like did something rub you the wrong way? Did something happen
Right.
Yeah.
that made you feel uncomfortable, that you felt like you needed to publicly do that?
Right.
Yeah. That makes sense though.
And you know, for me, Chris, I'm about to talk my shit.
Uh-oh.
That's what I do when I'm about to talk my shit. I turn my chair.
Turn it right. He got to get right.
This is a message to the world. Excuse my language, but don't excuse it. I mean this in however way y'all take it. Stop worrying about what the fuck everybody else got going on in their life. Like, we care so much about everybody else, but don't take a look in the mirror. Stop looking at who cares what people love and like. Everybody deserves a chance to be loved. Stop worrying about everybody else and worry about your damn self.
Facts, man.
That's it.
Those are struggle made me AG
I said it.
thoughts.
And I stand on it. Yeah.
Stand firmly on it, my dog.
For sure,
But no,
for sure.
you said some real shit, man, for real. Because a lot of people be so pressed, man. A lot of people be so pressed, and it ain't got to be like that, man. If you stay in your lane, that lane gonna stay straight and stay painted right where it need to be. You know what I'm saying? So stay the course, bro. Stay the course. Yeah. Keep all that other bull out the way. Mm-hmm. And just live life, man. Just live life to the fullest, man.
That's it. Oh, hey, they got some bro. They got some great. It's another one on here.
Another one.
Another great question. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
What you got?
Name a double standard that women currently face that should be left in 2021. Let's get it.
Ooh.
I want to say that for some strange reason, a man seems to think that he can cheat on a woman several times and she is supposed to accept it. But that one time that a woman does it, his whole world done came to an end. You can leave that in 2021.
That shit there.
Leave that in 2021.
Because women, we're supposed to be so forgiving and understanding, but you're not. Right. That's a double standard. Come on now.
Yeah.
So, you know, and men will be quick to say, but it's different. It's different because, you know, we women cheat with emotion, but men don't. But that's not exactly true. That's not exactly true. Because men catch feelings too.
True.
Leave it in 2021.
Leave it. Mm-hmm. Leave it there. Yeah. Pack your bag. Like,
but don't be the person to accept that shit either. Excuse my mouth.
There go. No, you heard how I talk.
Man,
say what you want.
Space.
Don't be the person to accept it either. You know me coming out of what I came out of. No, my tolerance is this short.
That's short.
That means that you're not gonna get a second chance because I already played that game. Right. So the moment you show me what you're doing, I'm gonna show you how to play. Bye.
That's
Deuces.
it. Deuces.
Bye.
Deuces.
Gotta go, Mr. Ho.
Damn, this was a good one. Hey, Mimi, I ain't gonna lie. You need to drop. If you had a mic, you need to burn it, set it on fire, and drop that mug.
Hit that thing where it needs to be.
Crazy. You just went crazy on the podcast.
Shout out to my dog, man.
It's always a treat when players meet. You feel me?
We finna go to the player bar. I feel like I need to get my doggone suit and my doggone cape, man.
It's always a treat when players meet. That's our new quote of the day.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We need our Don Juan cups, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. It ain't, hey, what she say? It ain't on you, it's in you. You know what I mean? Hey. That's it.
Literally.
Well, now, thank you for real for coming in our safe space and being open and honest about your trauma and your pain and the good stuff. You're a content creator. Keep motherfucking going. Let's get it!